I would get in a portaloo rather than getting that to the moon. that thing is, there's no way that went to the moon.
You know, the two probes that two of them, I think both of them are out of our solar system now. So both of them were launched in like the 1970s, and we have like pictures from like Pluto and shit. The ones that photograph Pluto and Neptune.
Any picture you see from space is a computer generated image.
Yo, welcome to another episode of the Three Speech Podcast. I am the Mad Lad of Jihad, and as ever, I'm joined by the Bajan sensation. I don't know why the thing's going mad. We're not the Trusty Hogs podcast. Ignore that. And we're joined today by the Romanian immigrant. It's none other than Radu Isac.
They know my name. Thanks for having me.
Welcome back. Listen, what's happening here is that we have no producer, so I'm trying to organize it myself. And I don't know how anything works. And this TV keeps on changing the image in the background. So you know what? I'm just going to turn it. I'm going to have it on.
You're doing a fantastic job.
Thanks,
honestly.
man.
I would have gotten angry like
I'm
half an hour ago.
You know what? We're just going to leave it on. Actually, we're not going to advertise. We'll have no edit a thing in. Listen, welcome to the podcast. This proudly presented to you from High Point Care, who are our sponsors. If you want any CBD goods, we got gummies, we got drinks, we got fucking oils, hot sauce, healing powers. You know what's happened? We haven't had a gash bomb for a long time. So, Radu, you've not done one of these before.
No.
So what you do is you open this sachet, and you pour that in your mouth, and then you take a swig of the delicious and nutritious
So you get,
High Point Care Trip CBD soda.
So you get a bit of energy, and then
yes,
the CBD calms you down.
You'll be relaxed. So you'll just be normal. It cancel everything out. Okay. So do the gash bomb. So I'll show you how to do it like this. Okay. Watch, ready?
Okay.
That's good.
I feel like 10 years ago people would have done like proper drugs in the podcast, and now we're doing legal stuff in a bag.
Well, usually we do this with drinks. And actually, Nico messaged me just before the pod, but I'd already set off saying, let's do LSD on the pod. So next time we'll do LSD on the pod, Nico.
Okay.
Yes?
Huh? I've never had LSD. I don't know what you're talking about.
You messaged me and said, let's do LSD. The thing is, the come up for LSD takes about an hour. So I'm going to take my headphones off. I don't think we need them. So it would have taken too long to come on. Listen, also...
Yeah, so that would have been like an amazing like Patreon episode. Just the come up is free, and then if you want to actually see it, you need to pay.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. That's my idea. We're going to do the LSD episode in the next podcast, and the actual Patreon bit will be when the LSD kicks in. Listen, how have you been, Radu?
Yeah, pretty good. Like, career's going fine. I just built stuff on myself. I don't know, but honestly good. I put out like a special. And I've been stressed with it. It feels like it feels more naked now that people can see me on the internet.
What's it called? Where is it?
It's called Keep Coughing.
Yeah.
So far, it's just on my website. People can buy it.
People buying it?
People bought it, yeah.
How much it cost?
Hey, I let people decide. It's anywhere between, like, I've gotten between two quid and 200. That was my minimum and maximum.
I gave you the 200 quid.
Thank you. I think that's why I'm in the podcast.
That's right, baby. I didn't really. I would fucking download it for free and torrent it.
I'm gonna put it up on YouTube in like a week or two. So check it out.
Don't say that now. People might still want to buy it.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I'm being honest about it. I feel like people make like a lot of people have like a lot of. I made some money, yeah. Not the shit ton, but yeah, I'm happy about it.
And so listen, Radu's one
How
of the...
much you made exactly? We need figures here.
It's not 5 figures. I'm gonna say it's under 5 figures.
Okay.
Well, it's still thousands though.
Oh yeah, it's still thousands. Yeah.
You made thousands of money.
Well, yeah, but it's still 5. It's 4 figures, and I think it's.
Tell us the exact amount you've made and how long it's been.
I don't want to.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Radu. I don't care.
I'm still kind of uncomfortable with money for some reason. Yeah. But basically, I don't really have enough money. So I know. I work a shit ton, and I know people make a shit ton of money without working a lot, and that's my market. That's where I want to get the money from.
But that's pretty good though. You've had quite a lot of downloads of the pod then. Of your
yeah, I can say that I've had like over 500 people bought it.
So that's 500
times I don't even know how much.
Between 2 and 200.
The average,
and he's I'd reckon the average person who supports Radu will pay
£20?
Nah, no one's paying Radu £20. They're paying between 10. They'd pay 10 is a medium figure.
Okay.
5,000, and that would make 5,000. 5,000?
5,000?
5,000.
It's not the right amount, but yeah, it's a good
higher?
estimate. But I don't even want to say if it's higher or lower.
Radu's
I feel like
regretting,
I'm
Radu's regretting coming on the podcast now.
No, I really don't.
As we grill him about, show us your fucking bank statement right now, Radu.
Put this part on Patreon.
Oh wait, if this is an HMRC tax issue, then I'm happy for you not to disclose the figures.
Oh no! I want to pay tax on it.
Will you tell us? Will you tell us off air how much it is?
I don't. See, you know, I don't give out the number. I'm not comfortable with it yet.
Okay. That's pretty good, man.
I want more people to buy it, so I'm not comfortable with where the number is. Right
And what
now.
is it? It's the best of show or it's a new show or?
It's kind of it's a lot about the pandemic. It's just like I shut on science for like 10 minutes, and it's kind of a bit of best stuff and a bit of my Edinburgh show from last year.
And where did you film it?
Vienna.
Vienna.
Yeah,
Nice.
Vienna.
We were in
Very international.
the home of Adolf Hitler. Why were you there?
I like Adolf Hitler.
Okay, fair enough. Was it good? Why?
No, I'm sorry I said that. Obviously,
You don't like Adolf Hitler?
You know what I
thought you were joking.
You know, I saw like a clip about like how America took the land from like local people. I don't want to say Indians, but
Indigenous people.
Indigenous people, yeah. That's a second language, so I can be more offensive.
Yeah.
But basically, when they took it over, it's basically they applied like every trick in the book. So I thought America is not like it's not the densely populated area. But it was like, I think it was like Europe before.
This is a man who's done a lot of drugs in his time. Why'd you do your gig in Vienna? Adolf Hitler and indigenous Indians in America.
Let me tell you this. I want to say, Adolf Hitler, when he was doing the whole thing about, like the whole speeches about how he needs to kill the people he didn't like, he actually said, we should. I want to do in Europe what America did in what Americans did in America. So and they actually quoted. They said that the Volga needs to be the new Mississippi. Because that's how much they fucked over the indigenous people. They were kind of like Hitler. Hitler used them as an example. I just learned this week.
Oh really?
Yeah. He used and it happened in in the late 1800s.
And that's why you chose to do your special in Vienna?
Exactly, that's why. And no, I chose it because I kind of initially filmed it in London, but then you know when you film something and it's insecure.
Yeah.
And I
don't know that.
I was on a tour with Victor of European countries, and we had like 2 shows in Vienna, and I thought like fuck it, let's film it again there.
Nice. And it's going well.
I was smoking a lot of weed last year, and this year I kind of quit weed.
You've quit weed, but now you're on CBD. High finest. Listen. If you want a 10% discount, highpoint.care, use the code 3SP. You will get 10% off. And before I forget, a few episodes ago, we said we're going to do a competition giveaway to one lucky listener viewer, right? We've now got the merchandise. So you still got a chance to enter. If you're listening to this pod, watching this pod, leave us a comment on the YouTube. Like the episode, subscribe to the channel, and you will get the High Point Care Pain Relief. This shit's good if you've got like a sore back. Gummies, some drinks. It's like deep heat. Get the hot sauce, which is menthol, so it's delicious and it calms you down. A couple of the CBD oils, some CBD like capsules, and basically you'll just be walking THC.
This looks like jizz, mate. This looks exactly like jizz.
Yeah, jizz is good, and you get the skin healing formula.
Exactly like jizz.
Just before we came on air, Nico, you were putting moisturizing cream on, and then you were asking Radu why he doesn't
Does it smell like jizz? Do you want to see if it tastes
smells
like
like
jizz?
menthol weed.
I've never tasted jizz, Radu.
Have you ever tasted jizz?
By mistake, mine.
How do you taste your own jizz by mistake?
Somebody gave me a blowjob, spit it out in a bottle, and I had like a lot of open bottles in my bedroom, so I kind of drank from one.
A girl snowballed you.
What does snowball?
Snowballs when you come in a girl's mouth and then she spits it back in your mouth. But she kind of did it with a bottle.
Yeah, with a bottle. It was like a threesome between me, a girl, and a bottle.
What bottle was it?
One of the
It was a High Point CBD bottle.
Tasted amazing.
This is why you should tidy up. If you had tidied up, you would have known which was the jizz bottle.
Yeah, I know, but then I wouldn't have had the story.
What did the jizz taste like? Disgusting.
I don't really remember. I just remember realizing, no, that's probably the
You
jizz
know what?
bottle.
I had a friend once, and really this was a friend and not me. He said he used to wank and he'd eat his own jizz to not fuck. And he said it like that was normal. I was like, that's fucked up, eating your own jizz.
I don't think it's that fucked up.
That is weird.
That's fucked up, man.
It's weird.
That's pretty gay. I think if you eat your own jizz, that's gay.
I think you're supposed to be fine with your bodily fluids. I think.
Would you eat your own shit?
No, not really. But,
Wow.
but also, like, I don't know. I think people eat. There's like TV shows where people eat their own shit, right?
Maybe in Romania, man. I don't know what the fuck you are watching. Hello, welcome to the great Romanian. The great Romanian.
Is my mic on? My mic on? Yeah.
That is like a show. I'm sure it's a spin-off. I'm sure like it's a franchise, but it's like a show. I'm famous. Get
The Great
me out
British
of here.
Poop Off.
Is there like a show here in the
Listen,
UK?
Nico won't even shit on his own toilet. Never mind eat his own shit.
You were saying though, like about Hitler,
Yeah.
and he said he want to make the Volga.
Volga is like a river in Russia, so he was gonna make the white people.
Yeah.
So
What documentary was that though?
it's like a YouTuber, Steve Harris, I think, or Harris something, and it's like a 20-minute clip about and it was actually like an American president actually said, I don't remember the name of the president, but actually said we're replacing the red man with the white man. Like that was in one of his speeches.
I mean, I'm shocked to find out that America was racist.
So the German scientists actually learned a lot of the eugenics stuff from America.
Yeah.
Because America was carrying out a lot of experiments on the American Indians, the indigenous people and stuff like that. And they had all these mental asylums and stuff where they used to carry out these different horrific experiments. And the Germans learnt a lot of the stuff, the crazy stuff they were doing from the American scientists.
Yeah. Like we're shocked that it happened like in the 1940s, but actually it had been happening for an entire century before that.
Yeah, but man,
Just shocked of the tail end of the story.
if you want to talk about, people are going to be shocked about science, what we're doing today. But I was reading about lobotomies and how they would. Do you know what a lobotomy was? You've heard of it. They used to literally
To take out half, open the top of your head, yeah.
No, they go in the 60s. They stick a fucking needle in your eye through here into your brain, twist it around, and then pull it out. And it goes and you go back home after lunch. And like, there's people around who are still alive today, like 50 years old, who've had lobotomies, had a needle in their eye.
But they used to have people who had the top of their head open up, like on Hannibal Lecter.
But they still do it. Like,
And they were going and take out one half of the brain or some shit.
Apparently, brain surgeons say that whenever they do brain surgery, it's a bit of a guessing work. They really do guessing work there. So
Yeah.
it's just, if it's too much, if you cut too much, the guy stops being able to use his limbs. If you cut too little, the surgery was for nothing. So you just kind of go, eh.
Well, in your brain surgery, the brain feels no pain. So it's open. You've got no pain relief. You're awake.
Yeah.
They've opened up your head, and they're doing it as they say. You'll tell us a story, and you're talking about it, and then when you start forgetting, it's a bit like our podcast actually. When you start forgetting shit, it's like, we've gone too far. Reel it back. That's one CBD too many.
That would be like an amazing podcast if you filmed it. When
Someone having open brain surgery.
Yeah. You could get like a shit ton of money, I think. If you
probably
finance the surgery.
Put it on RaduIsac.com.
Yeah.
Donations between £2 and £200. How have you been, Nico?
I've been great.
I've heard you're in a mortal feud. A mortal feud.
Yes, I'm beefing with Paul Chowdhry.
Oh, you're gonna have that, Paul. Why? Tell us.
Because Paul, every time, Paul thinks that he owns topics. And when he does a topic, he thinks no other comedian should ever do a joke on that topic. And that's the beef we're having.
So what's the topic?
A while back, we both had a wet ass pussy joke. Mine was the best wet ass pussy joke of all time. You can go and see that on YouTube. Nico YEARWOOD, WAP.
Can you tell us a joke?
Nah, it's on YouTube. I
Watch
can't
it on the
remember it,
YouTube.
but it's a great joke, and it was the best wet ass pussy joke. And
Of all time.
Of all time.
Of all time.
Of all,
I'm gonna check it out.
Go watch all the wet ass pussy jokes and come back and tell me that mine wasn't the best. Anyhow, so Paul released the wet ass pussy joke. I released mine first. Paul asked Mark, the comedy club owner,
Top secret.
for me to take mine down because if he released his after mine, it would look like he got the idea from me.
Okay.
Imagine that. So he made Mark call me, and Mark asked me to take it down for Paul.
Well, why didn't Paul
I
just
released
call
mine
you?
first.
Does Paul actually ever speak to you directly?
He
about
never
it?
comes to me. He always goes to Mark. He gets Mark to do his dirty work.
And
No.
how does Mark bring it up to you?
Mark calls me or we speak about it. Anyhow, so listen, and there's a million wet ass pussy jokes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like telling people you can't do a joke about Uber or you can't do a joke about whatever.
Yeah,
because
fridges.
Croydon.
It's ridiculous.
Are you eating your own hair? That's grosser than eating your sperm, I think.
Stop making me feel self-confident.
Self-conscious.
Go on, say
Yeah.
say-
So then, recently, apparently, so if you got a uni student in the front row, I'm doing banter, and they have like, you see a uni student with like pink or blue hair.
Yeah.
You jokingly ask, okay, this is one of them woke students, and I ask them what are their pronouns.
Yeah.
No, Paul goes and says to Mark that he's doing my pronoun stuff. I'm like, whoa,
What are you talking about? I'm being fucking forward thinking. I ask people their pronouns.
Yeah. It's like, that's not your thing, mate. You don't own pronoun stuff. Then Junior Booker was there. A very funny guy, Junior. We had him on the pod.
Hilarious.
He is hilarious. One of my favorite comedians. And Junior...
So are you ready?
Yeah. And Junior even told Mark, well, I've got pronoun jokes as well. And we were like, you can't say that anybody who does a pronoun joke is copying you. It's insane.
It's almost a hack joke right now.
Yeah, it's almost, yeah. And it's just...
You're both hacks.
Yeah. But it's a thing that gets a cheap laugh. It's like, yo, uni student, pink hair or blue hair, what are your pronouns then? Or what do you identify as? That's not anything anybody
that's
owns.
not
So anyhow, all the staff were on my side anyways, so he's only making himself look ridiculous by having these. So now, apparently, he told Mark he doesn't want me in the room when he's doing a set. Imagine that.
Okay, fuck.
So you're now in but you haven't actually spoken to Paul directly about this.
Paul never speaks to me directly. He goes and gets Mark.
But you are calling him out just
but
to
I
clarify.
am telling him I've never stolen a joke from you. I write all my material, I'm the best writer in the country.
And-
full stop.
and-
There's nobody that can touch me in this country.
And if
full stop.
And if he continues with these scandalous accusations, what are you going to do about it?
Huh?
If he continues with these scandalous accusations,
The streets would deal with him.
what you the streets?
The streets would deal with
Well,
him.
Paul, that sounds like an open challenge. I mean, listen, the way I see it is, you can't fucking have topics. You can, like, everyone's got an Uber joke, everyone has a Tinder joke,
Yeah.
but it's your Uber joke, my Uber joke is the difference. So it's like we can both start from the same premise and then you move there. Oh, because we would.
I've done taking shit from anybody in the comedy industry. I calling y'all out. I don't give a fuck anymore. Any of y'all talk shit or come and say something about me or jokes or anything, I tell you straight to your face, whatever it is. I am scared of none of you, and I fight all of you.
And I'll fuck
The only body I won't fight is Nabil, because he's big and strong. and I love Nabil, and he's great. But Nabil can actually beat people up.
Yeah, he's a trained fighter.
But yeah, Nabil.
Who were who are the hardest comedians in the UK?
Hardest?
Top 5 hardest comedians.
Oh, the Paul from Liverpool, I think he's actually training. I see it on...
The
Paul
only
Smith.
the only person that I don't think I would beat is Nabil.
Oh, someone was telling me they were gonna fight you.
Who?
Oh, who was it? And I said, "Well, you mad? Fucking Nico would fuck him up." Who was it? Just continue thinking about the
I think
hardest.
Leo, because he's tall, I feel like I felt on Nabil I could take him just because I'm assuming I'm faster.
Nah, Nabil is a monster, mate. Nabil would crush
But
all of us.
like, I think in a cage, yes, but in like a street situation, I think I could just run around the block and hit him from the behind.
Nah, I don't think so. Once Nabil grabs you, it's over.
Yeah,
mate.
I was
That's
gonna,
it.
he's
That's
like
it.
Zangief.
when I hug Nabil, I'm like, this is a rock.
Okay.
So we're going. So
Okay,
top
that's
five, top five hardest comedians. Who are your top five? So you got Nabil number one.
Yeah.
You got who else?
Oh, Lenny. Lenny is a fucking rock.
Nabil, Lenny.
Nabil and
Lenny Sherman.
Oh, yeah.
Lenny's
And he's
another
in-
rock.
And he's in shape now. He's
Yeah,
been hitting
He's
the gym.
actually been in fights and shit.
When you again, Lenny is one of them guys. When you like pull them, they don't move. They're like solid.
So you're going.
I wouldn't fuck with Nabil or Lenny.
So Nabil,
But
Lenny.
I love both of them. They're very funny guys.
Yeah, nice guys. Nabil, Lenny. Who else?
That's it.
What? There's what, Paul Smith.
Some females up there, so just so we're...
No.
Some females.
You mental.
Nah, it's just Nabil and Lenny.
Who are your top five?
I don't know. But I felt like Leo, I feel, is like way bigger than me. Every time I
He
speak,
towers
I
over
speak.
you.
Yeah, exactly. It's uncomfortable almost. To
I beat
stand next
Leo
to him.
5 times in arm wrestling contests, so he's not that strong. He's just tall.
But yeah, he has the reach basically.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, look at my arm, looks good. So you're going Nabil, Lenny, Paul Smith, two more. Oh, I tell you who's hard. Geordie Act, Newcastle. This is a bad. Newcastle does tour support with what's his face, Scottish guy,
I don't know.
young Scottish guy. I don't know. He's hard as well. I think his name, not Chris Ramsey. I've forgotten his name. He's a really nice guy.
Ramsey.
But who said they want to fight me?
I'm trying to remember. Someone was talking about fighting you, and I said, "Are you mad? Nico will fuck them up." I can't remember. Maybe it was Paul Chowdhry. No, I don't know. So anyway, so you call anyone else you want to call out on the pod?
Nah, I'm just saying that I'm done letting people chat shit. Like that Paul thing really pissed me off.
Chat shit, get banged.
I'm not saying they're gonna get banged, but I'm gonna
Chat
call you
shit,
out.
get called out.
Yeah.
I like Paul, but it sounds to me like you can't, like I said, like wet ass pussy and fucking pronouns is.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm on Paul's side just because he's more famous.
Yeah, actually, I'm on Paul's side as well.
That's
He is.
only for now, though. That's only for now.
Well, yeah, when you get more famous, totally switch
That's
sides.
only for now. Give me a year and a half.
All right, so we're all in. Listen, talk about that. Can you guys remember? Because we've been asked from our listeners, like, what are your origin stories? How are you getting into comedy? Do you remember? And now Radu's here, so why don't we go through that? How did you get into comedy?
Start with Radu. man.
Radu, how did you get into comedy?
I always wanted to do comedy, and I was at the stage where I was like first year of college, and I kind of knew I need to pick like a career and a job very
In Romania?
soon. In Romania,
So
yeah.
was stand-up was the thing in Romania?
It wasn't like a thing, but comedy was a thing. So I always wanted to do like comedy. And then I moved to Bucharest. I'm from like a small town, and I found like a comedy club that just kind of opened like 2 years before I started.
And the comedy that you were watching, that's Romanian comedy or like American comedy?
So
or
up until I was like 12 or something, it was just 100% Romanian comedy. And then when I was like 18, it was kind of like 100% American comedy.
Tell us some good Romanian comedies that we should check out.
It's like a lot of sketch stuff. but-
Eat the goulash.
that's good. There's like a dude in the I forgot his name, but there's like a dude in the 1970s. Like, I found him on YouTube recently. It's like the most proper stand-up you could ever imagine. He was doing it like in the 1970s in Romania, so it's always been like a thing.
In Romanian language?
Yeah, Romanian language. Yeah.
And then so you what first year of
And
college?
it was good stuff?
Yeah, it was fairly good. It would stand today. It was like it was him talking about how he was ugly and he was ugly.
Yeah. He was Romanian. What do you expect?
An attractive country, I'm gonna say.
The women are quite fit.
Romanian women are hot, man.
And me.
Yeah, you're hot. You know what it is? The Eastern European women are hot, and the men are so
Romanian
ugly.
women are hot, man. Wow.
I think you think the men are ugly because it's like competition for you, and you think the women are hot because you wanna fuck them.
Yes.
No,
But if you're
no,
a woman, you think Romanian men are hot and Romanian women are ugly.
Nah.
Because they do kind of, Romanian women do kind of put on like too much makeup and stuff. I don't like the whole. I don't like.
That's misogynistic.
They're not as using as much makeup as the girls here in the West.
No, they are. Like I think maybe like Liverpool or something can compete, but like with the amount of makeup on their face. But generally, in London, I think it's like most of the. It's a big business model for us to just have like nail salons and shit, like big ass nails, and the ones like fake ones, and that's like a business model. So yeah.
But no, the women are definitely more attractive than the guys in Eastern Europe. That's a fact.
No, that's because you're attracted to.
I was there in Budapest with my wife.
Okay.
And even one day she goes, all the bus driver women were hot. The women serving the food in fast food restaurants like KFC and places like that were hot.
Oh yeah.
And then one day she just goes, all these women are fucking hot.
Oh yeah.
And that's a woman saying that. But she didn't say all the men were stumpy.
For women in Eastern Europe, and I'm assuming in more places, but in Eastern Europe, definitely being hot is a career choice. So there's a pressure from women towards women to kind of put on makeup and
but it's not a makeup thing. It's not a makeup thing.
But you know what I mean, to moisturize and kind of do whatever. But then for men, it's just men that kind of do well.
But that's why you're not hot, because you don't use moisturizer.
I think I'm hot enough.
Nico uses moisturizer.
The women weren't.
How old are you?
I'm 62.
Why is he going older?
But the women honestly are way in a like the guys look shorter and they look like angry plumbers for some reason.
Yeah, but you're looking at like the regular man, that like the non-ambitious man. But
that's what we're talking about.
But right, and I'm saying the non-ambitious women still look hot. The women driving buses look hot. But the women driving buses in London do not look hot. The women serving you at KFC and McDonald's do not look hot in London.
I guess it's a thing of like feminism as well. Like just because feminism is more of a thing here, women don't feel as pressured to kind of put effort into their appearance. Like you wouldn't like sometimes unshaved legs. I think that's a
red flag.
Sorry,
it's a red flag.
I don't care, but I'm saying like you wouldn't really see it in Romania, but you see it here quite often.
Yeah, but I don't know, man.
I don't care. But I'm just talking about like.
Okay, but back on track. 1 year you're in.
Oh yes. So I started doing stand up and
How did that happen?
I just went to I called the club and I asked if I can go.
Is that it? Yeah, 5 minutes. Like I called
I don't want to.
I think the bartender answered and he told me, come on over on Friday night, and I actually went on a Friday. I went on a Friday, but I didn't get on. But in my head, I thought I was gonna get on. Like I left like a club and I was a bit drunk and I was just kind of repeating, okay, what the fuck am I gonna say to these people? But then I didn't get on. But then like literally Monday they had like I was like on the first open mic in the country. So there was like they opened the stand-up comedy club in like 2003, and in 2006 they had the first open mic, and before that they had like a thing of if you're in the audience and you want to give it a shot, you could come up and give it a shot.
So you started in 2006.
2006, yeah.
Damn.
Well,
yeah.
How old were you when you started?
20, something like that.
That's like, how many years ago is that? 20 years ago. Some shit.
I can't do maths.
Yeah,
I'm like 47 as well, so yeah, I'm like 27 years ago.
So, and how did it go the first few gigs?
So first two good, third one I bombed, and then like I was lucky enough to be like part of this new phenomenon. So there weren't really that many comedians, and I got like a lot of stage time and quite quickly. And also it didn't really I bombed a lot, but also they didn't really have any other comedians to get on. So I kept
on bombing.
And the Romanian's like, this is shit.
But I had the luxury to bomb. I don't know if that like you take more risks when you have the luxury to bomb.
And then I
feel like that really helped me.
And you were quite famous in Romania, right?
No, not really. I think
I thought you said you were famous.
No, I never said that. People just kind of assume that because they.
You son of a bitch.
No, I
always thought that you were famous in Romania.
Yeah, I thought you were. I've been going around telling everyone I've got a famous friend from Romania.
But right now, maybe it's half true. But like when I moved here, so I don't know. I don't know what fame is, basically. But you definitely...
I thought you
do
had been on TV or something.
I've been on TV. People do recognize me on the street sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, that's famous. So how many times had you done... you were doing comedy in Romania before. How long before you moved to the UK?
I did something like... I went to America in 2013, so something like 7 years after I started, and I did like 2 summers in America, but I kept going back for.
And how was it?
How you get a visa for America?
I did like a thing of you know the work and travel program. So I actually applied I went to college for like a semester so I can get the paperwork.
What college did you go to?
Just the shittiest one in Romania.
Oh no! What college in America did you go to?
Oh no! You basically, if you're a student in Romania, you can get like a visa and stuff to go and be a waiter in America for like a summer, and it's called like work and travel. We get cheap labor and you get to see our nice buildings and nice cars.
Yeah.
It's an exchange program between Romania and America.
So you went there twice, and what? And you did comedy.
You get cheap labor. America get cheap labor, and what do they get?
We get to see America not on TV.
Right? No, I'm saying you get to see America. What do they get?
Cheap labor, yeah.
They get Romanians, preferably the women, but sometimes Radu turns up. And then, so what? Where did you go? LA, New York, where?
Just LA.
And you stand up in LA.
So I did like a lot of open mics there in LA, and that's where I kind of built like when I came to the UK, I already had like a 10 minutes.
How was LA?
It was kind of good, but it was like
You get a lot of women in LA.
Oh my god, yeah. It's just
really. Tell us your best woman you got in LA. And how?
I don't know.
Listen, either tell us how much money you fucking earn, or tell us about the girls you got after a gig. Or men, whatever.
I just did open mics basically. I think I fucked like 3 women or something in 2 summers.
In a row? Oh, it is.
We changed it to
I had
the
to
Paper and Bitches podcast. How much paper you get in? How many bitches you get in?
Basically, it was like 8 flights to fuck 3 women. That's the max.
That's a good.
You remember that guy?
Good ratio.
You remember that guy Ian something that used to do the Superman joke? Back in the day.
I remember not the footballer.
And he used to wear glasses. He was an open mic guy, and he used to carry a Superman poster. He used to gig at the Thistle all the time back in the day. And he goes, they say if you can't get pussy in Newcastle, that something's wrong with you. He said, I went to Newcastle. I found out something's wrong with me. So he's got this real nerdy look, and he's chubby. He's like, and it's true. They always say, if you can't get pum pum in Newcastle, something's wrong with you.
You should have gone to Newcastle if pum pum was there. Yeah.
My accent was thicker. My English wasn't good enough. So I remember the first time I did like open mics in LA. It was like 3 minutes open mics, and my brain could only handle like speaking for 2 minutes in front of an audience. Like I could handle a conversation for a half an hour, but I couldn't handle an audience for. Any
of the comedians you were gigging with in LA famous now?
Just the one that pops into mind is he's dead, but like Jack, I forgot his name.
Jack Knight?
Yeah, Jack Knight. Yeah.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah. What, he was gigging with you over there?
Yeah, he was kind of in the open mic. I was seeing him a lot.
Oh jeez. So you don't know him? He came to Top Secret. Young dude. Yeah, very confident guy. He was on the rise. He was going to be massive. TV shows and all that kind of stuff. Super confident. And yeah, he's dead now.
What? Recently?
Yeah, like a year ago.
Yeah. Young.
Yeah.
Young, 27.
Sudden adult death?
Nah, apparently he shot himself.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck.
That's the word on the streets, apparently.
Well, those are the streets.
Well, that's what I heard, but I don't know if
and
it's
those
true,
are the streets that could be coming after you, Paul.
I saw.
Keep on running your mouth.
Keep chatting shit.
Jack Knight found out. He came down to Top Secret, chatted shit. Where is he now? Anyway, sorry, that's too much.
Yeah, cut that bit out.
Cut that bit.
I saw Norm MacDonald do a set just because we're on the topic of
he's
dead
dead
people.
too.
Yeah.
That wasn't the streets. And then. How did you find, what did you think of the stand-up scene in LA?
So I think I thought it was like a bit more religious. I don't know if so. People would do. There's like a dude, Alex Hooper. He was on a Top Secret as well, and he did like a thing of doing like 300 gigs in maybe I'm confusing him with Quincy something. There was a dude Quincy something that had like cancer. He was like on the Ellen show. I'm sorry, I remember all the tragic stories, but I'm pretty sure.
That made up. He made it up that he had cancer and then he didn't have cancer.
A lot of people say that. I really don't know the truth. He's still like, I think I'm friends with him on social media, and I don't think he had ever admitted it. But I'm gonna say this about him: he was supposed to buy my scooter, and he never did. Like he just like.
So he's
like
always been duplicitous.
He's been duplicitous, yeah.
Duplicitous individual.
No, I heard about him. He did Angel Comedy, and they said because he was funny, very funny guy, and I looked him up, and there's like this whole Reddit thread about him. They're saying that he pretended to have cancer so he could get on these shows. You know, that was his sob story. Then turns out he didn't have cancer.
And but it does feel like LA, the people are way more desperate to make it because like people actually move there.
I heard the comedians are shit in LA.
People.
The scene's a bit rubbish.
I don't know. It's hard. It's like I've just been on like the open mic scene.
Did you have a car?
No, I had like a scooter. Which was
like
very,
a Vespa, like a proper scooter, or like a one of those,
like a cheap Chinese one, but
like
still.
a motorbike scooter.
Oh yeah, like a 50cc. That was pretty good. I had fun with it. I didn't have
how
like
many
a license
gal you
stuff.
get with this scooter?
He got 3 in 8. You already know the ratio.
just when I wasn't on the scooter.
But how long does that take you to get?
I got a girl with the scooter. I only had like one helmet, and she put like her purse on her head to seem like she has a helmet.
Man, that is a sad woman, right?
No,
who's so willing to get laid with Radu should sit on the back of a 50cc scooter in LA with a handbag on her head.
I like that. but that's the type of woman you keep.
She was like a party type woman. She was like
the
a
type of woman you
really
keep, mate. When they're with you, when you don't know, that's the type of woman.
When they're willing to put a handbag on their head for you,
and you're on a scooter.
Yeah, we did an open mic and then we went.
But it's not miles away between gigs in.
Oh LA. Yeah, it's like a scooter isn't almost. LA is like a huge village. It's basically. So it really isn't. It really isn't doable on the scooter. But I did it. I didn't.
What's
really
the famous clubs in LA? What's the famous
comedy
store, Improv, Laugh Factory. Then they had like one, the Meltdown.
Or the Laugh Factories in LA.
Yeah, but it's all going to Austin now. No one. I think LA's kind of that's where everyone's going. I think.
I hear that. There's still like a big industry.
But New York is the seller.
New York's the seller. Gotham.
New York is basically it just has like a lot of more people actually live there. Like in LA, everybody just wants to be in show business. It was a miracle in my head every time I saw like a club with an audience because I didn't know where the audience was from. I just assumed everybody there is like an actor and.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, then you moved to the UK.
And then I wanted to move to America. They canceled my visa. Just speaking about this, and then
did they has your visa actually been cancelled?
Yeah, visa was canceled.
Why?
Gone. I did. They say you're not allowed to do like open mics. The second summer I went there on a tourist visa.
Yeah.
And I was doing open mics, and they said you're not allowed to do that.
They said that was work.
Yeah, that was work. I thought it's like karaoke. It's like no professional. It's not.
Yeah.
Thing.
And when you said that, what did they say?
The visa was cancelled when I was having this conversation.
So now every time you go to America, have you got problems with them?
I haven't been back, but no, I don't have like a red flag. I just need to apply for like another visa. But also now that I said the thing about the red skin and the white skin, I don't think they're gonna let me in. They're still sensitive about that. They don't want to admit the fuck uppity they did.
Or you said stuff about Hitler they might not like.
What about your origin story, Nico?
You think we went to the moon? How do you feel about the moon landing?
I think probably yeah. I follow like a lot of space stuff, and yeah, I think.
Okay.
Nico doesn't believe in the moon landing.
No
Tell
way.
us why. Expand on that, Nico.
No, we didn't go to the moon. That's all.
Okay. Do you want to refute that? That is a lot of evidence that he's presenting you. We didn't go to the moon. That's it. How would you refute that?
I feel like I don't trust scientists today, but I would trust scientists in like the 1960s.
Why?
All I know is that in 1969 we had them phones that went.
Yeah, but
there's no way we use that technology. Look at the thing they said landed on the moon.
Oh yeah.
I would get in Portaloo rather than getting that to go to the moon. That thing is, there's no way that went to the moon.
You know the two probes that two of them. I think both of them are out of our solar system now. So both of them were were launched in like the 1970s, and we have like pictures from like Pluto and shit. The ones that photograph Pluto and Neptune.
Any picture you see from space is a computer generated image.
What about computer generated music?
90% of them.
So do you think once in a while they're just gonna say, okay, this is how much further it had to have gone? Let's generate a computer image of this planet now.
Yeah, everything you see. When you read a space article, look at the pic and read the fine writing under it.
Oh no, yeah, the
computer
the
generated.
the Hubble and stuff. It's not computer generated, but they do mix in. They make.
It's a composite type thing.
Yeah, it's a composite.
what?
Yeah.
I thought you were just
It's
joking
not-
about it.
No, it's not.
It's actually fake.
Yeah, but no, it's basically
Wow.
They're
you
using
picture,
models and they're doing this.
but no, you picture some light that our eyes can't see, and they have like they look so far away that they.
And the artist comes in and fills in the blanks. It's all made up shit. We never went to the moon.
It's not an artist. It's just it's like you need like different cameras to take like different.
Did we go to the moon or not, Radu?
I think we did. Yeah.
Not in
Why did they go to the moon?
It's just like I think out of
Just
all the
for
things
fun.
that we're doing as a society right now, just exploring space seems like the most.
These are delicious, by the way. I'm not
most
just saying
natural
that. These
You're
gummies,
about to pass out in about 5 minutes.
these gummies are actually delicious.
High Point Care. Listen,
These are very good.
right, they're 3SP. All of High Point stuff is the fucking bomb. This cream's wicked. This hot sauce is delicious. The gummies are amazing. You're meant to have like one or two. Nico's gonna eat them all.
Can you do a set after this?
These
Use
are
the code
amazing.
3SP,
Yeah.
highpoint.care. Use that code. Take some. And also, if you want to win some shit, leave a comment and like and subscribe to this podcast. But Nico, what about your
Comedy?
your origin comedy story, man? How did you get into comedy?
How did I become the GOAT?
How did you get from the Thistle Hotel to a feud
becoming
with
the greatest.
Paul Chowdhry and the GOAT,
Yeah.
as you so called allegedly say? What
As the
happened?
streets call me the GOAT because they know what's up. I was always funny. I was born funny. I was-
Modest?
Huh?
And
I'm
modest.
a humble guy. I'm the most humble guy.
Did you do bad in
there
school?
is.
Did you have low grades in school?
Nah, great. I have a high IQ as well.
Okay.
How big's your penis?
20 inches. Pure Barbadian steel. The finest. There's a stuff in my penis is what's in Wolverine's
Oh,
bones.
did you try?
Adamantium.
Did you try the High Point Care CBD Viagra stuff yet?
No, I one day I just put like 3 drops to see what it felt like, but no, not really. Apparently, you're supposed to take 3 throughout the day,
Yeah.
3 times or something. Nah, I just do like 2.
And what about that? Is not the glowing endorsement that we want.
No, but I didn't take the full dosage. I just wanted to see what it tastes like. So maybe it works. I don't know.
What about that stuff you bought from fucking Dubai when we went? Did any of
I
that
still got that.
Did any of that work?
I still have it. I haven't cracked it open yet.
Oh, okay. All right, go on.
But I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna make a tea with it. I just need to get around to it.
Tell us about your story, then.
Yeah, how I became the GOAT. No, I was funny in class, I reckon. You know, like, and we used to crack on each other after football all the time, like roasting people. I was good at that. But there was no comedy circuit in Barbados, really, and so I just went through life doing office jobs, like my parents would have told. You know, your parents tell you, go to school, get a degree, come out and get a job, and that's it, really. So there's no real comedy circuit. Now there's a comedy circuit coming up, but there wasn't one when I was thing. There would be like MCs who would host calypso shows, and they would tell jokes to get the crowd warm up, and then introduce the.
Would there be their jokes, or they just like stealing old like random?
There would be some would be jokes that they wrote, and also some would be, you know, like hack stuff, a mixture. But and yeah, so they would do that. So that's the only kind of thing. And my uncle was one of them, and he's a very funny guy. So
Okay.
But
So
I just went I just went through
It's a nepo baby.
yeah, I just went through office work, and then I was like, I can't do office work. I
So, but this was you in Barbados. You were doing office work, or now you're in England?
Yeah, so in Barbados I did office work, and I didn't like it. I never liked office work, and I was like, what can I do to get out of this office
And this is
work?
when you had
and I was like, go and study. If I go and study some more, I'll get out of the office. So I was only studying to get away from the office. So I went and I did a master's up in Newcastle, and then
Did you get laid in Newcastle?
yeah, I did.
How many times did you get laid in?
Probably 3, like Radu. And I had no scooter.
But you still had to take the flight, so I don't know who's got the better exchange rate. Yours was 3 over 2 summers, and yours is in Newcastle, and actually Newcastle is like Zimbabwe dollars when it comes to fucking getting laid. So actually, Radu was in LA, which is like the US dollar of getting laid. So Radu's actually got a better exchange rate than you.
So. Everybody's sober in LA. Like you wouldn't see anybody drinking. In Newcastle, everybody's shit-faced drunk.
Yeah, but I did have a long-term girlfriend when I was up there. So
okay, so you're in Barbados. You're trying to get laid. You're just studying business or whatever. And in Newcastle. And then how'd you like?
No, and then I end back up into the office. So I was like, I got this degree now. I got to work
in London or Newcastle.
Well, I went home for a bit, and then I came back to London. Got a job in Manchester, and I was in the office, and I was like,
why'd you go to Manchester?
Because I couldn't get a job in London. They kept saying you need UK experience. So the first job that came, I took it.
What was Manchester like?
What was the job?
Accounts. I was in accounts.
What was Manchester like?
It was cool. It was all right. We used to go a lot, party, but it was cool.
Did you wear like a suit to work and everything?
Nah, just shirt and tie.
Did you have the Cat Stevens hairstyle?
That was back home.
What were you rocking then? Just short hair?
Just short.
Okay, so you're in Manchester, you're doing an office job.
And then I got UK experience, then went back to London, got a job at a company. I was their finance officer and accounts guy and whatnot. And I was like, I hate this. I fucking hate this. And I just hated my life.
Did you have to stay like over scheduled? Did you have to stay over?
Yeah, sometimes they would expect you to stay longer than 5 o'clock and whatnot. And then one day I was like, I can't do this for 40, 50 years or however long I need to do that. I was like, there's no fucking way. And I just was getting more and more depressed. And then one day I just quit. I was like, freak this. And yeah, I was like, I got to do something. And it was when I was at work, I typed in like, the boys back home used to tell me, man, you're funny, you should be a comedian. As I said, there was no comedy circuit, but that stuck in my head. You're funny, man, you should be a comedian. So then one day I just typed in comedy London, and the first thing that came up was Lions Den.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and
that was in the King's Cross Lions Den.
Yeah. So then I wrote out, I think it was at work, and I wrote out like 4 or 5 jokes on a scrap of paper. In fact, they weren't even jokes. They were just like, I had the jokes in my head. I just had the 4 or 5 topics on a piece of paper. So it was like, I can't remember what they were. But one was a credit crunch joke. It was wrong the time a little. Credit crunch. These gummies are great, by the way.
3SP, 10%.
I now eat about 8 of them. So yeah, and then I wrote like 4 or 5 jokes down, went down to Tim, rest in peace. Tim was down there. Your friend Tyrone was down there.
Big up Tyrone.
Tyrone did something that pissed me off, and I blocked
white?
him on Facebook. I can't remember what he did, but
Tyrone doesn't like Nico.
Yeah, I beef with him too.
Nico doesn't like Tyrone, but go on.
Fuck Tyrone.
Don't fuck Tyrone. Tyrone's a wicked cool guy, and he's just been on Eggheads. He's good.
And fuck Paul. Anybody else on my list, I coming for you.
Not Tyrone though. You're retracting that. Go on, but so you went down to like. Why did you?
I can't remember what it was he did though, but it pissed me off. Right. Anyhow, I'm a petty guy, anyways.
I did the joke about the credit crunch.
Yes, I did a joke about the credit crunch. I did a joke about the recession. I did a joke about something. Anyhow, they all got laughs except one. And I was like, that's a good response. And I was like, I might be okay at this. And then I went for the... But on my 3rd gig, I died as well.
Did you...
My 1st gig, I crushed. 2nd, I did well. 3rd, I died hardest.
Were you like nervous on stage in the beginning?
Oh, yeah, I drank so much. I was scared as hell.
Did you bring people along to watch you in your first few
of course
gigs?
not.
Did you bring anyone to watch in your first few gigs?
I still don't bring people to watch me, really. I don't.
No, but I think sometimes when you start comedy, people come out at the beginning, and your first few gigs, usually they always go well, and then about the third gig in, you think, "Oh fuck, this is easy," and then you always just come crashing back to earth on like the third gig because then no one cares that you're like new or anything, and then it like reality sets in.
Yeah.
Were you nervous on your first one?
Yeah, I was nervous. I had first one I went with like 2 friends, but back then I had like a shit ton of friends. So I had like a very busy social life, so I would be out either way. So that's just the place we went that night.
Radu's cool, baby.
No, but were you nervous?
Oh yeah,
Your first time.
Kind of, yeah, but now I was nervous, but I had like I planned it so well in my head, and I was like so determined. I remember not really feeling what's happening, but me really going through the words, me kind of really okay.
I didn't have like. I didn't plan. Like most things, I don't plan. I had the words. I was like, it's a joke about this, a joke about that, and I was nervous as hell, man. I almost got too drunk.
Also,
too much Dutch courage. I almost got too. I was staggering and swaying and shit. Yeah,
that was like my year 3 in stand up.
And grabbing my dick and shit. And Maureen was there. Maureen younger. She's like, "Stop grabbing your dick." But I was so drunk. I got. Like my first year and a half, I probably used to drink all the time before it went
Did
on.
you used to, when I started comedy, I was super nervous and I'd be scared. And I see this now when I see really new acts. It's scared to look up.
Right.
I was like scared to be looking down and like that. I was. Yeah.
Very like skinnier, like less confidence, right? In general in your life.
It was when I first started. I was like, I would remember being nervous to look up, and then like overcompensated by swearing a lot. I started comedy in New York. Okay. Then I did all right.
You actually haven't started comedy, to be honest.
Listen, fuck you. I'm the greatest comedian alive in this podcast. I'm the greatest comedian in this room. I'm not really. I'm good, but I always was kind of good, but I was never consistent. That's what I was looking for, like consistency of starting comedy. Then I came back to the UK, and I was doing all right in America, but it's more because I was English. Okay. And then I came back to the UK. And I started comedy here, and I was like, "These little shit, it's gonna be so easy for me." And I think I was like verbally telling people that as well. I went to the comedy cafe. Remember the comedy cafe in Rivington Street? Did you ever do that?
Yeah,
it was
a couple of times. Yeah.
It was great, and they had basically the best like new act night on a Wednesday or something.
Beer gal.
And I remember there was like some more experienced comedians there, and they're like, "So, just chatting to me." And I was like, "Man, I want to win this. It's gonna be so easy." And they're, "Oh, you're really good." And now I see back they were patronizing me. I said, "Oh, these guys are shit, man. They're just rubbish." And I think I rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way.
But you're legendary. You did the whole lap dance to the Muse lady.
No one knows who that is. I did that as well.
Okay, sorry.
That's the mask. Then yeah. So there's a competition in UK comedy called the Amused Moose. And like it's like a big new act competition. Everyone takes it super seriously. It's like, it's like comedy's such a weird industry because no one in comedy actually has a sense of humor about themselves. And this competition was a super like, this is the biggest thing for
the comedy industry is a fraud.
It is a fraud.
It's a fraud.
So someone, not me, but was me. I put on a Mexican mask. I called myself the masked comedian, and I went on stage and basically started giving. Then I came on stage and started. The woman who runs it's like this old woman. I started giving her like a lap dance.
Fit.
She's really ugly. She said, "Get away!" Then I made a mockery of the Amused Moose competition. Then she emailed me saying, "You're banned from ever doing the Amused Moose competition." And I ended every year as the masked comedian. I just turn up. And she was no. So yeah,
she's fit.
That's how I became your fan.
You made love to her?
I've not made love to any women in comedy. How did you? How do you remember when we first met? I can't remember. Can you guys remember when everyone met? When you met? I thought I met you at Hate and Live.
I think Hate and Live, and I remember we did like the English Comedian of the Year, and you drove. I remember you had like a Mercedes something. And
That's right, Mercedes, baby.
All right, Darius.
Paper and bitches, baby. Paper and bitches.
All right, Darius.
Yeah, baby.
This guy is different.
And then I won that one. That was with I won that. I remember I went through.
Mercedes.
I think we both went through.
We both went through. That was that. Yeah. Was that the first time we met?
I think that's the first time I had like a long conversation on that car. I don't really remember. Somebody else was in the car. It wasn't just the two of us. But
Alex.
Alfie
Keeley?
Brown.
Alex Keeley.
Oh yeah.
Not Alfie Brown.
Shout out to Alfie.
How did you meet Radu, Nico? Can you remember?
I was beefing with Radu. I beefing with everybody. I don't know. Was it Top Secret?
I think Top Secret
Top
was
Secret
also
or
you're
Lions
doing
Den?
Angel a lot? Or maybe you were emceeing the Lions Den?
Yeah, probably Lions Den.
Okay.
We met at Lions Den.
Possibly, yeah.
I remember, and we used to do the Thistle Hotel. I was chatting to someone. I was chatting to Sarah Callahan yesterday about the fit. Did you ever do the Thistle Hotel gigs?
I don't think so.
Inky Jones, man, this guy.
Oh yeah. I totally did those for like in the beginning. I did so much of those.
He just ripped us off so bad.
Is he still alive?
I don't know, but who was that? Was that old guy with him? Ray is his
Ray,
name?
yeah.
Man, they had this guy Inky Jones, right? He was actually really
Is
good.
he still alive?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think he is, but he got like a big tax something. He got like the HMRC caught up to his.
He had the biggest scam. He basically flied Leicester Square, got our whole audience every weekend into like the Thistle Hotel function room. He was a really good MC. He'd MC it, but he'd go on too long, and he'd have any comedians who would do it come on, and he'd pick like people like Radu, Nico, and myself, new acts who were good to come on, but he'd just have this other guy called Ray, who's like some old guy who ran it, and he was just like the most racist, angriest, just awful person who just go mad. It was such a shit gig, and apparently he's now got a thingy. So you did the Thistle Hotel. Get off your phone, Nico.
Okay.
For fuck's sake. Should I have origin stories here?
Yeah, when I first moved here, it was I could get like open mics Monday to Thursday, but it was extremely hard to get stage time on like Friday, Saturday. And I just kind of I came here to do comedy, and I just kind of.
I quite liked those gigs, but they were work. And then after a while, when you see that they were full rooms paying 20 quid, I started to resent it because they booked so much shit, and I would be the one that I thought I'm the one bringing this show. I should get something.
In the beginning, I was very happy to get like stage time in the weekend, and then like they had the bad enough reputation that I felt like no, I'm just doing it for the stage time. I never expected to get paid. I never asked. I never really cared. But they were doing like. They're doing like something like.
Then he expanded
7?
and started doing one in Kensington High Street or something, in some hotel. Yeah, crazy.
He had a big flyering team of Leicester Square. But
he was doing like 7 shows every weekend.
Was he?
Yeah. I was getting more stage time there than like the rest of the month.
But they were awful gigs, though, right?
There's still an audience, so you still get to practice. But yeah, it was like it had some problems, but you still get the practice.
His banter was good though.
He was a good MC. He was a good MC.
His banter was good.
Yeah.
He was actually good, but some of the acts were just so rubbish. And the night went on, it was just that and that Ray guy. I remember we'd turn up and he'd just be rude to you for no reason. I was like, "Hi, I'm here for the." So why are you being mean? I'm literally trying to do stand up.
I almost had a threesome at the Thistle.
With Ray.
Yeah, Ray and Inky.
Nice.
Damn.
I remember we went out one time after the Thistle Hotel. We started chatting to some women. Obviously, we didn't get any, but I remember that. Remember that? Just our weaponized autism scaring all the women off in Leicester Square.
No, but I pulled 2 Swedish birds one night.
Oh, I remember this story.
Yeah. And but I had brought a different girl with me that night, and I was being a gentleman. I was like, she went upstairs for drinks. They came on to me downstairs. And they're like, oh, let's go back to the hotel. And they're kissing me. Maybe they were trying to rob me. I don't know.
They were Russian.
I would take that robbing happily. They were both like 9s, 10s, like stunning, beautiful women. And I was like, the girl I came there with was upstairs. And I was like, fuck. I can't. I didn't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? Bring a girl there and then just walk off with 2 other girls. I was like,
but how long did you know that other girl?
That's the thing. That's the messed up thing. That was like our 2nd or 3rd date. And that night I went with her because I was like, I'm going to be, the decent human being and go back with her. And I didn't even get nothing from her. So
you played.
I feel like if
that's why you should never play safe.
Yeah.
He thought a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush.
Yeah,
and he got none in the bush.
I got none. And to this day, I regret that, man. I fucking regret that. And they were like, these girls were stunning though. They were both Swedish. Like I'm telling you, like stunning.
I feel like men should be allowed to do that just because the cost of opportunity for us is way higher.
Men should be able to
expand.
do what? What do you mean? Do
like
what?
should be allowed to bring a date somewhere and leave with somebody else.
Oh,
because
yeah.
for us, we don't get hit on that often. So
You
when
know
it
what?
happens,
Some
you need
women
to go
would do
with
that with like, and they wouldn't care.
Well, I think if women do that, it's somehow worse because they get hit on all the time. Just wait like another half an hour and then leave with the dude. You're gonna somebody else is gonna hit on you in like an hour's time. Why?
Even less than an hour.
Yeah. So why are you treating me badly?
Yeah, that still bugs me to this day, man.
You should have got their Facebooks or their numbers.
Well, you win some, you lose some.
You lost those. You lost those. What else has been going on? So, what was your worst death you ever had?
You didn't tell us your origin story.
My origin story was, so I thought, you know what? I didn't know what stand-up was. I was at school and someone put on Eddie.
Shows.
Right. someone put on Eddie Murphy Delirious or Raw, and it was like, I couldn't believe how funny it was. The funniest, because I already knew him from like films and stuff. It was the funniest thing I ever saw. Then I still didn't really understand what stand-up was, and then I was at uni and I thought, maybe I can do stand-up. And I just called up the Comedy Store. I called them up. I went, hi. And they went, hello. I went, can I get a gig, please? I went, what? I went, can I have a gig? I went, who are you? I went, I'm Darius. I went, and I went, what? I went, yeah, can I have a gig? And I went, how many times have you performed? I went, no, nothing. I've never. It's my first one. Can I get a gig, please? I didn't know anything about open mics. Didn't know shit. And they were like, you need to perform loads of gigs. I went, and I didn't know. For me, I only knew there was the Comedy Store. I thought that's the only place they did stand up. I was so naive, right? So anyway, I called. I thought, fuck it. And then because they said no, I thought, well, that's that opportunity gone. I don't know any other way you could do stand up. They had no clue. So I put it. I just didn't think about it again. Yeah, and then
For how long?
Like
Couple of years.
I didn't think about it. Then I was in New York on an exchange program. Right, I was working, studying, and part of that was a public speaking exercise, and I'd written this like. Basically, it was really like we were like 19 or 20, like students, but they were making us write these things called PDJ's, personal development journals. Like, and I've come to New York and and obviously I just took the fucking piss out of this thing. Right, I just ripped the piss, and it kind of went viral within the thing. Right, people started sharing it. So then one of my friends was like, oh, you think you're funny? You should in this public speaking thing. You should do a stand-up set. I was like, I'll try it. Right, and he was a bit older. Right. So I tried this kind of stand-up set in this thing, and it was kind of good because no one had any kind of charisma, and they're all doing boring things about, this is an Excel spreadsheet. So I did this, and he was a bit older, and he's like, that's really good. Then he's like, man, you should do open mics. I was like, what the fuck is an open mic? Had no clue what an open mic was. Because this is where you turn up, and that's how you start stand-up. So I was like, oh, right. And then I remember I was so nervous. I was working at a bank. I was working at Citigroup in finance, right? And I was dressed really, really smartly. And I turned up to this open mic in like downtown Manhattan. And I told no one from like people like my friends, I'll come with you. And I said, he was nice, Elliot. He helped me. And he was like, I'll come with you. And I was like, but don't tell anyone I'm doing stand up. I don't want anyone to know. And I remember I got on stage. I was just so nervous. Then I found out about open mics, and I'd go to like the comedy set, not comedy cellar, Comic Strip Live. They had one. There's a woman called Gladys who runs gigs in New York, and then there's a guy called Jeff Cole. After my first gig, I died on my ass, right? And he was like, maybe don't wear a suit, because I looked so smart compared to all the other comedians. It's off-putting, but I had no jokes. The concept of having jokes didn't occur to me. And I remember one time I had a joke about ATMs, or I thought it was a joke, and this other comedian did a bit about ATMs. I went, even though it has nothing to do with my bit, I think, well, that's that done. I can't do that joke. So then, I started comedy there. Then I left New York. I won a competition to be on some MTV thing, and then I couldn't get it.
You won a comedy competition?
Yeah, I won a comedy, but I had a lot. So basically, I had a lot of friends because there's a lot of exchange students, and I was in New York. I was English. I was dressed. I used to be quite like clean cut, and they thought I was younger than I was, and I had a lot of chutzpah, as they would say in New York. I had a lot of charisma and energy, and this guy's even I had to say nothing. I won this competition, and I went to like MTV in Times Square, met this woman. He said, oh yeah, Darius, what do you want to do? And we can see you maybe presenting stuff and da-da-da. And I was like, she said, so your visa, you get a working visa? I was like, yeah, no. And then okay, thanks, bye Darius. I came back, but in my mind I was like, wow, it's gonna be so easy. I came back to the UK, and I was just shit for like continuing to this day, just gradually getting less shit.
But when did you start making a living out of it?
He doesn't.
Why are you bitching on me? I didn't steal your fucking jokes. I literally. Why are you being so mean? No, I mean, I guess I started.
I'm beefing with everybody.
I started making money. I remember the first time I ever got paid for comedy. It was like someone gave me £5 travel expenses, and I couldn't believe it. It was some random gig in North London. Wow, £5. Then I did a gig.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Then I did a gig in. Well, do you remember those gigs that they used to do in the O2? They were gigs in the O2, but they weren't. They were in like a Thai restaurant in the O2. I can't remember her name. It's like an urban gig. Anyway, I did that, and she gave me an envelope. It had 50 quid in it, and I couldn't believe it. And then I guess I was working comedy, and I was never really gigging properly. Then gradually started to make money, and then maybe from about 2015, I've been getting paid, and it slowly, goes up and up and up and up. So
no one pays you, Darius. Stop
I was literally at Top Secret yesterday doing
Nobody
your job
pays
for you. I was doing your job for you. Nobody pays
to
you.
do comedy.
And we were
What are
on
you
a
chatting
fucking trip
about?
to Dubai together, you moron.
And only I got paid. Shout out to Gail.
Shout out to Gail. Why was I there?
I'm gonna go pee. Can we do pee?
You can't do a pee,
Yeah,
Radu.
pee. You gotta tell us how much you made from your special in order to pee.
How long have we been going for? What time did we start?
I don't know, man. Go
Maybe
pee, man. Go
Somewhere,
pee,
yeah,
it's
kind of
fine.
like an hour ago.
All right,
But,
maybe we
Nah,
should.
it says there a lot on that thing, no?
Oh shit, we've been going.
149.
All right, maybe we should just call this a day.
I think it's 1:49 since the technical problem started. I just want to.
Yeah,
Okay.
have a break. Yeah, we'll have a break. I'll do Patreon.
All right, have a break.
Okay.